My hands were shaking with rage. Imagine a woman shows up at my door at 7 in the evening, jiggling a key in my lock like she's casing the place, and when I tell her to take a hike, she just grins and calls the cops on me. The wild part? She thought she was untouchable. She had no idea the deputy rolling up that night was about to turn her whole power trip upside down. You ever had a neighbor who thinks they're the sheriff around here? Buckle up because this gets way messier than you'd believe. Tuesday morning, February, I'm out front, trying to fix a busted sprinkler head in the little memorial garden I planted for my late wife, when I hear these heels click, click, click coming up the walk. I look up and see this lady, all buttoned up in business gear, a badge clipped to her jacket, leather folder under one arm, striding like she owns the place. Good morning. You must be Mr. Porter. I'm Courtney Mitchell, Community Standards Director for Oakage. That smile of hers could power the whole county way, too cheerful to be anything good. She opens that folder like a detective flashing credentials inside, documents so official-looking they put my retirement papers to shame. Welcome to the community, she says, handing me this thick packet, all glossy with photos, violation examples, fine print about fees and compliance issues. Looked more like she was selling timeshares than explaining rules. I've read enough technical specs in my life to spot a red flag, and let me tell you, this packet was basically a Soviet parody, so many red flags I could barely keep count. She starts in about $350 unpaid assessments from the last owner, $250 monthly fees, and, get this, quarterly safety inspections, with her holding a ring of 10 shiny keys like she's got master access to the whole street. Only thing is, those keys, they all looked brand new, like she'd just had them made at Home Depot over the weekend. I asked for basic stuff: board member list, HOA docs, legal charter, anything that would prove she's not just making this up. She dodges every question with "it's all on file at the county," or "I'm just enforcing established standards." Never actually shows me anything real. We walk the neighborhood. Every house, same beige fence, same mailbox, same flower border, like Stepford Wives got into home improvement. She calls it improvement. Looks more like forced standardization to me. That's when Betty Harper lives next door, ex-librarian, sharp as a tack, shows up. "Oh, you met Courtney," she says, and gives me a look like, "Watch your back." After Courtney leaves, Betty pulls me aside and starts showing me her evidence, months of photos, notes, recordings. She tells me Courtney drove the last owner out with harassment, and she's been recording everything. What she shows me blows my mind. Every house got hit with the same violation notices, all with fancy legal jargon, but half the stuff is just nonsense. Spelling errors, mismatched fonts, legal citations that don't exist. Turns out, the manual she gave me is as fake as a $3 bill. Betty's got audio to Courtney doing patrols, snapping pics, threatening people over garden colors and mailbox height, measuring fences with her handyman Jake in tow. Everyone's been paying fees, scared of getting reported or fined. That uniformity? It wasn't pride, it was intimidation, pure and simple. By that night, I'm staring at the so-called compliance manual, realizing this woman built herself an entire fake empire. No one ever challenged her, so she got bolder every day. I text my son Daniel, who's a sheriff's deputy. He says, "Dad, document everything. Don't let her in." So, I put up cameras and dig into her paperwork. Next morning, I go down to City Hall. Clerk checks her system. No HOA exists for Oakage, no authority, no binding restrictions, just basic city code. I'm thinking I've got her until I get home and find a fresh violation notice taped to my door, even fancier than the last. She's doubling down. And yeah, I admit I pay the $250, thinking I'll buy some time, keep her off my back while I build my case. That was a mistake. That afternoon, she returns with Jake, the handyman, to do a property inspection. He looks about as happy to be there as someone at the dentist. When I refuse to let them in, Courtney's eyes go cold, but she keeps that fake smile plastered on. She's got my payment as permission for property access. Jake's measuring, mumbling apologies, clearly knows he's part of a scam, but too nervous to blow the whistle. The neighbors start weighing in. Some defend her. Others say it's easier to pay up than make waves. Only Betty keeps pushing for the truth. That night, Courtney calls, implying I'm losing my marbles. "Maybe we should involve your family, Mr. Porter." Sometimes older residents get confused, total gaslighting. But now Daniel's on high alert. Next day, Courtney issues an ultimatum: 48 hours to comply or emergency community procedures kick in. What kind of HOA needs emergency protocols? The answer's obvious: one that's not real at all. She starts switching tactics. Now it's phone calls, certified mail, trying to avoid my cameras, but still turning up the pressure. Thursday, the big break me camera catches her coaching Jake on what to say for violations. If he keeps resisting, we escalate. Surveillance, not compliance. Betty's got months of this stuff, timestamps, voice memos, a paper trail a mile long. That evening, Susan organizes a meeting at her place supposedly to restore neighborhood harmony. Courtney rolls in, charts and graphs, and that same old act. When I ask for documents, she just pivots: let's not focus on bureaucracy. She makes it sound like I'm the problem, not her. That's when Betty stands up and starts playing her evidence. 8 months of harassment, intimidation, manufactured violations. Rick, who's been paying for months, finally admits he's out $1,750 just to keep his family in peace. Even Jake, the handyman, cracks, tells us Courtney paid him to make up violations, coached him on what to say if anyone questioned their authority. The neighborhood splits some, still back Courtney, but the tide is turning. That night, Courtney corners me in Susan's driveway, mask slipping. Tomorrow at 7, I'm coming with my master keys. 24 hours notice, official inspection. That's when it hits. Mesh really thinks she can just break in and everyone will accept it. So, I dig into the law. Criminal trespass, impersonation, attempted burglary. Daniel confirms: Dad, don't let anyone in. I'll be on patrol, call if you need backup. Tuesday night, the streets buzzing, neighbors outside, cameras ready. Everyone knows something big's about to go down. At 11:47 p.m., my camera catches Courtney at my back gate, flashlight in hand, trying out keys like she's breaking into Fort Knox. Day of reckoning, 7 p.m. She comes striding up, keys gleaming, clipboard in hand, neighbors all watching. Mandatory emergency safety inspection, she announces, loud enough for the next block to hear. I stand inside, calm as I can, and let her have it. Courtney, this is criminal trespass. No HOA, no authority. Everything's recorded. She starts waving her clipboard, doubling down, then tries every single key, one by one. Nothing. Her hands are shaking now, smile cracking. Betty shouts from her window, those keys never worked. She's been lying to us. The crowd erupts, people furious, phones out, Rick yelling about stolen money, Susan just looking crushed. Courtney snaps, throws the keys, starts pounding my door, grabs a rake, trying to break in absolute chaos. Then she calls 911, claims there's a neighborhood mob attacking her. Sirens, flashing lights. Daniel steps out of the patrol car, calm as ever. Hi, Dad, he says. Courtney goes pale. His son's the sheriff. Betty shouts, and suddenly the whole neighborhood's cheering. Courtney tries one last desperate move, lunges at me screaming. Daniel steps in, cuffs her, reads her rights. The list of charges? Trespass, impersonation, assault, fraud, the works. And the evidence is overwhelming. Betty's videos, my security footage, Rick's receipts, Jake's confession. Turns out, Courtney had been running the same scam in other neighborhoods, targeting folks who were isolated or vulnerable, always vanishing before anyone could organize a response. Not this time. The investigation uncovers $27,000 stolen from our block alone, plus victims in 2 other subdivisions. Media picks up the story. Fake HOA busted, thanks to a retired engineer and a nosy neighbor. Susan helps organize everyone's claims for restitution. Betty becomes a community hero, and Jake starts doing honest work for folks he used to scam. At the sentencing, the judge lays it out: probation, restitution, a little jail time, and a permanent ban from anything that smells like community management. Funny thing is, once Courtney's authority vanished, folks started working together for real. We fixed up the garden, held a neighborhood barbecue, even built a playground with the recovered money. Margaret's Memorial Garden became the heart of the block. Again, no more fear, just friends and families looking out for each other. Sometimes it takes one stubborn old man and a whole lot of receipts to remind folks what a real community looks like. So, what do you think? How would you sentence someone who ran a scam like this? Ever had a neighbor try to take over the whole block? Drop your stories in the comments. And hey, Maybe next time someone flashes a fake badge at your door, you'll remember confidence isn't authority, and sometimes the biggest bullies fall the hardest.